Welcome, my awesome followers. It's Grandma Sandy time. We are going to go back to the old Grandma's Enchanted Fairy Garden way of doing things. I am getting too many complaints that I am not doing enough fairy gardens and flower gardens and food gardens. So we are going to have to put at least one or more posts up a week on that from now on. I went down to Home Depot and I spent a total of $28.70 including tax. And for that, what did I get? I got some gardening soil, and it's supposed to be feeding my things up to 9 months. I don't know if that's true, but I'm just taking their word for it. It's for the garden soil, and I'm going to put this in my flower beds. I know it's not real big because Grandma can't lift very much. And that cost me a total of $4. It's $3.97. I bought 4 packages of California poppies. They are my favorite. They were $1.69 a piece, and I bought 4 of them. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put them in one flower bed. Maybe I'm putting them in 2 flower beds. I take about 2 flower beds, and I'm going to put half of this now out, and in about 2 or 3 weeks I'm going to put the other 2 packages out because I want to make sure I have them blooming longer than normal. And then I got a package of nasturtiums. Hope I pronounced that correctly. I'm putting them out right away, and I love them, and they're one of my favorite flowers. And all these flowers reseed themselves. I just need to be putting out a lot more flower seeds and get everything reseeded in my yard. Now, this is a package of Johnny Jumps. I bought a 6-pack of these, and they were $2.98. They are one of my favorite flowers for my fairy gardens, and I put them in every year. They will die back, and it seems like when I buy plants like this that are already grown, they never reseed themselves. If I grow them from seed, they do reseed themselves, and I don't know why that is. I don't know if they sterilize them or why. This is another plant that I do grow all the time in my yard, and they do grow by themselves as long as you've grown them from seed. But when I do my fairy gardens, I usually buy them because I want them to be in a certain place, a certain placement, and that's why I buy them. My flower beds, I usually don't. They're usually just seeds. Because the flower beds are big. I can't afford to put all these in my flower beds. I'd be spending a fortune. And these were, I think they were $2.98 also for the 6-pack. So I bought one of those, and I bought another one of the Johnny Jumps. Then I bought a 4-pack of daffodils for $4.98. And I'm going to use this in 2 separate fairy gardens. I'm going to use it once today, and I'm not actually going to plant them. I'm just going to show them in there. And when I'm done with my fairy garden, I'm pulling them out, and then I'll put them in a pot and do another fairy garden around them. That way, they'll do double duty, and next year they'll come up on their own in a container. I find them to do better like that. So that's the plan for the daffodils. So this should do a minimum of 1 flower bed with the seeds, and it should do 2 containers for, well, not 2 containers, 2 fairy gardens, because I have a raised bed that's pretty big, and I'm putting these flowers in that and the daffodils for a fairy garden. And then I'm putting these seeds in another flower garden. So we'll see how it works out. So everyone will start being happy. My fairy garden followers will start seeing some fairy gardens every month. I promise you guys, every month it'll be a fairy garden. I'm going to shoot for 1 fairy garden a week. That's my goal. We'll see if I can do it. I'm doing 1 today, and then next week I'll put another 1 up, because I'm going to actually put 2 together today. But it works out better if I can do 2 or 3 fairy gardens at one time, because I have so many things I got to do. I can't do them all. So if I do a couple at a time, I can put 1 up every week. So that's what my goal is for this week, is to get these fairy gardens put together and get my other flower garden cleaned out before I plant flowers in it. So when spring comes, maybe we'll see some pretty flowers. And if not, I started too late. We'll just do the best we can. I'll see you later, my awesome followers. Oh, don't go anywhere. Why do I always tell you that? Don't go anywhere. I'm putting the fairy garden up with this video. It's all going to be one big video. Don't go anywhere. There's going to be fairies coming your way now. You want to see the fairies, don't you? Stay tuned. Fairies are coming. Well, these are the items I'm going to make the fairy garden out of. I probably have to go and find some more pieces. But I have a little house that I got last year, and I have a little piece here. And these pieces are at least a year old. I had them, I know, last year. They're not new. This one does light up at night. And this one here is really pretty. I have some furniture that goes in this one, so I'm going to look for it. I know I have it. I just got to look. But I just thought I would share what pieces for sure I'm going to use in my fairy garden. Here we are, back in Grandma's Enchanted Fairy Garden. This total fairy garden costs me $5 for the dahlias, and it cost me $6 for the Johnny Jumps, so that's a total of $11. Everything else I already had, all the other plants I already had. This here is a California poppy coming up, that came up from seeds from last year. This fern back here that you see, I planted that, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, and it's getting quite large now. And it was very tiny fern when I got it, very tiny. If you go back on the blog, and the YouTube, you might see how tiny it really was. The wrought iron pieces with the bee and the dragonfly, I think I got those last year at the 99-cent store for $1 a piece. And the house, I don't know, you'd have to go back. I don't remember where I bought. I have so many fairy things, I don't know. But I got the house, and I got this really pretty arch for it. And I got this really cute little table and chair set also. I doubt I bought it all at the same place, but I might have. But I'm pretty sure I purchased it all last year somewhere. So the total cost for this total fairy garden that I put together right here was $11. That isn't very bad. And you know how it is when you get done and you use these same things in another fairy garden, it's free, just like the house. Instead of shopping the house, we shop the garden. So I shopped the garden for the wrought iron places. I'm sorry, Mr. Peanut's barking. I shopped the house, shopped the garden, and got the little fairy house. And these items have, believe it or not, have been out in the fairy garden. They have not been in a box somewhere. They have been out here at least a year, and they've held up pretty good. I don't know if that house still lights up because it's been out in the rain and everything else for a year, but it has been out here for a solid year, so it looks pretty good still. Same with the little table and chair set. These have not been in a box in the house. And even this here, all this has been out here a year. So I shopped my garden, and this is what I came up with. And this was an $11 fairy garden. So just like I always say, instead of saying shopping the house, you shop the garden. Well, that's all I have to say. If you're not already following, please start following. We're going to try to get some kind of a fairy garden up at least one a week. We are going to start planting my gardens up again that are just in terrible shape and cleaning them up. I really don't know how much I'm going to get done this year because the yard is a total mess. And my husband's very sick, so I can't really do much with him the way he is. So I'm going to try to come out here at least an hour every day and get one project done. So we're going to see what I can get done. Thank you so much for all my followers that have kept following me through all my trials and tribulations. And this fairy garden is for all of you that love my fairy gardens and keep asking me, what happened to the fairy gardens? Well, here they are. This is Grandma's Enchanted Fairy Garden is back. I'm going to put a fairy garden up every single week for you. So just come and check it out and you'll start seeing them. To all my awesome followers, thank you so much for staying with me all these years. And to all the new people, thank you for coming and joining us also. And I hope you guys love fairy gardens because that's one of my passions, fairy gardens. So, see you later, all my followers. Bye-bye. If you're not already following, please click that like button. And please leave a comment. And please start following if you're not already following. Bye-bye for now.